Before the sound comes the craftsmanship, which is music to the ears at the Met. More than 80 stringed instruments are on display, telling the story of three modern-day masters who struck a chord right here in New York. The Met calls them guitar heroes, artists who carry on a livelihood that has thrived for more than 400 years.
They're all from the Italian-American community, and I thought that was a really wonderful story of a continuing tradition, how it came to this country, how it had roots in Italy, and how it continues to this day.
The exhibition starts with a look at Italy's golden age, the 1700s, and the most famous stringed instrument maker, called a luthier, was Antonio Stradivari, world-renowned for his violins, but that's not all. Curator Jason Kerr-Dobney says this is one of 4 surviving Stradivari guitars.
Stradivari used the same wood choices on it that he used on his violin, and that included spruce on the top and maple on the sides and back.
Careful choices of woods and strings would make Naples the center of mandolin production, but with mass immigration, many luthiers came to New York in the 1880s. 4 decades later, John D'Angelico was among the first to realize mandolin music was so 80s.
After that style of music became less popular, many of the makers needed to make a living, and so they switched to making something called an archtop guitar. And it's a guitar that could play loud. It's based on some violin technology with F-holes with a carved top.
Working on the Lower East Side, D'Angelico understood how those carved holes, shaped like the letter F on each side of the strings, helped with the projection of the tone of the archtop guitar, giving it a percussive, punchy sound.
It became very popular with the jazz players of the city, Benny Mortell, Bucky Pizzarelli, Tony Mottola.
As well as crossover country music guitarist Chet Atkins, who bought a D'Angelico guitar in 1950 and called it a Rolls Royce.
This is James DeQuisto, who was the second of the 3 master luthiers that we look at in the exhibition. And this is him building an archtop guitar.
After D'Angelico's death in 1964, his apprentice, James DeQuisto, carried on, but made his own mark in his Long Island workshop, building guitars using less metal and plastic. DeQuisto made this one for singer, songwriter, and guitarist Paul Simon in 1975.
Because Paul Simon was a folk player, and flat-top guitars have round sound holes and kind of are famous for a sweeter sound, DeQuisto also put a sound hole on here, not the traditional F-holes, but something a little bit different to give Paul Simon more of the sound that he typically got from his guitars.
DeQuisto died in 1995. The 21st century archtop artisan is John Monteleone. A self-taught luthier born in 1947, he lives in Islip and eagerly continues the Italian-American tradition.
He innovates. He's always doing new things with his instruments.
These are Monteleone's The 4 Seasons, crafted in different shapes with different sound holes, creating different voices.
They each embody his idea aesthetically of what one of the seasons are, but they also are a matched ensemble, so they each have a different voice, and he's created them to play together.
You can hear and see these one-of-a-kind instruments being played by the likes of Bucky Pizzarelli, all on an app created by the Met, the museum's first. Guitar Heroes, legendary craftsman from Italy to New York, is at the Met now through the 4th of July. Dana Tyler, CBS 2 News, Sunday Morning.